Watch and burn.
Hey everyone, so tonight I want to discuss, I believe, oh fuck, I don't remember when the movie came out. I think it's around 83 or 84 that this bad boy came out. And the movie in question is The Principal, starring, of course, Jim Belushi, Gossett Jr, and Rae Dawn Chong. And what this tells the story of is a disgraced private school teacher played by Belushi. Rick Latimer is the character's name. He is ousted from his prestigious position at whatever private school he's at, and he is promoted to being the principal of Brandell High, which is a fucking war zone of a high school. Cool looking in a sense, but mostly just terrifying, especially considering that most of the extras in this were actual gangbangers at this point. They were like active gang members, which does add quite a bit as far as authenticity is concerned. But it doesn't help change the fact that Brandell is fucking terrifying. But yeah, so Gossett Jr., he plays Jake. He's sort of the security officer for the school. He's been at Brandell forever. It was his old launching pad, like he explains throughout the course of the film, that this is where his football career started, but he ended up fucking his body up naturally and he wasn't able to transition into the pros. So he came back here because, as he refers to this, was the launching pad. Now, oh my God, Michael Wright, who is so exceptionally talented at playing these really sort of shifty bad guys. Like when I think of Michael Wright, he played Omar in Oz, for anybody who remembers Oz. And he's so good at being naturally scary. Like you can't figure out Wright's face. Like he could be sympathetic or he could be sizing you up because he's going to stab you in a minute. It's hard to say. And so he plays Victor Duncan in this, who's the lead bad guy. He's the student at the school that runs everything, all the drugs, all the guns, everything, it's his. And he's getting pissed off at Belushi for trying to straighten the place out. He has his buddies beat the shit out of him at one point, thrash his bike. And I believe this movie. Michael Wright plays such a good bad guy. I also think of his episode of Miami Vice where he played the Vietnam vet who used to kill prostitutes over in Vietnam, and now he was back in Miami doing it again. And again, Michael Wright has this ability to play a quiet kind of scary. Like, he will emote and he will get excited and he will, like, his anger will get the better of him. But for the most part, he's kind of got this quiet look of just being a complete sociopath on his face. Like, he's always so calm and he's always so sort of like well put together that you just know that under the surface he's a fucking ticking time bomb. And he plays a great bad guy in this. I believe him as like the out-of-control student who runs everything. And I mean, Rae Dawn Chong, she was amazing in this. I've had the biggest thing for her. I mean, goddamn, dude, she was in Commando with Schwarzenegger. But there is a touch of rape in this. One of the scumbags who's running one of the rival gangs, she insults him because he, of course, is in one of her classes because Rae Dawn Chong plays a teacher. She insults him in front of everybody, so his answer to that is to come back and rape and kill her. He attempts to, but Belushi, Latimer, in this awesome scene, rides up the stairs into her classroom on his fucking motorbike, and then he beats the shit out of the kid, which was awesome. And I just love the setting. I love Brandell. I think that's like my favorite character in this movie has to be the school. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this was filmed on it was a Merritt College, I have written down here, somewhere in Oakland. It's an abandoned college, or an abandoned part of a college, and that's where they filmed this. And like I said, this school is just so imposing. It's like, kind of like the school from The Breakfast Club, if, you know, there was no law, and there was zero authority, and the gangs ran everything. Because this school is fucking falling apart, and it's scary as hell, and you are clearly outnumbered if you're attempting to do something good. There's more bad than anything else. I also have to say the character Raimi, his pigeon story that he writes about how he'd like to go up. He'd like to pretend that he was a pigeon and fly away, but then he thinks there's just too many pigeons, so fuck that, I'd rather be a hawk. And then he thinks about how it'd be cool to own his own body shop and shit, but then he realizes he'd just be dreaming, and he comes down off the roof with nothing but pigeon shit on his shoes. That was a brilliant bit of writing that I always felt went completely unsung. The writing in this movie was amazing, and I felt that it was more just the violence that always got the attention. Because at this point in the 80s, things were transitioning out of sort of the exploitation early 80s, and they're moving more into the, I don't want to say the cleaner mid 80s, but with this movie having a touch of rape in it, and Brandel being as genuinely scary, and this whole movie kind of having a Death Wish vibe, that look was on its way out by the time this movie was made. In the 80s, we're starting to get a little cleaner. The movies that we were focusing on were more like Beverly Hills Cop and whatnot. Even though I will argue the first Beverly Hills Cop was really dark when compared to the second and third Beverly Hills Cops. The second one is like this Technicolor, awesome 80s thrill ride. And the first one is kind of bleak. So it's cool. Like, I like these gritty, ugly, sort of hideously made sort of action thriller dramas that the 80s dumped on us ad nauseum. Like, they did not stop in the 80s. These movies were just everywhere. But I do feel that the principal did an exceptionally good job of capturing everything. And I also have to say that I'm not really sure if this movie's been remembered quite the way it should be. Louis Gossett Jr.'s performance alone is worth the price of admission. But then you toss in that you got Jim Belushi and Rae Dawn Chong in it as well. And then they used real gang members. I mean, this movie has a lot of authenticity going for it. But yeah, so I'm gonna go. So thank you so much for hanging out with me while I discussed, I think the 1984, I'll take a guess, movie, The Principal, starring Jim Belushi and Louis Gossett Jr. and Rae Dawn Chong. Like always, if you like this review, don't forget to do something nice for somebody. But please, most importantly, do not forget that the world is a better place because you are in it. And I'm gonna go because I can't see anything behind me. Have a good night. I just wanted to say thank you for making it through the entire video. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to remind everyone one more time, even though I've probably already done this in the video that you just watched, to please click the like button as well as the subscribe button because it helps this channel grow. And thank you for hitting like and subscribe, and we will see you guys really soon.